In the Uinta Basin of Utah, there's a 512-acre cattle ranch where more scientific instruments have been installed per square foot than almost anywhere else in the American West. Motion sensors, radiation detectors, spectrum analyzers, and infrared cameras cover nearly every inch of this property. But this isn't a government facility. It's a privately owned ranch that has been under continuous scientific observation for over 2 decades. What are they measuring?
Skinwalker Ranch sits in a remote valley in northeastern Utah, roughly 30 miles south of the town of Roosevelt. The property spans 512 acres of high desert terrain, surrounded by ridges and mesas typical of the Uinta Basin. For most of its history, this was simply ranchland, cattle grazing, basic agriculture, nothing remarkable. What makes this location historically significant isn't what happened there, but what people claimed happened there, and how those claims transformed an ordinary ranch into one of the most heavily monitored private properties in North America. This is a story about how perception, documentation, and scientific curiosity converged on a single piece of land, creating something that exists nowhere else: a privately funded, long-term observational study of a specific location, searching for phenomena that may or may not exist. This isn't about proving or disproving anything. It's about understanding how a ranch became a laboratory.
The Uinta Basin was home to the Ute people long before European settlement, with archaeological evidence indicating a continuous Native American presence dating back at least 10,000 years. The name Skinwalker comes from Navajo tradition, though the ranch is actually in Ute territory. This connection appears to be a relatively recent association, popularized in the 1990s rather than a traditional indigenous name for this area. European-American settlement began in the 1870s. The federal government established the Uinta and Ouray Indian Reservation in 1861, and by the late 1800s, ranching became the primary economic activity. The property, now known as Skinwalker Ranch, was homesteaded in the late 1800s or early 1900s, functioning as a working cattle ranch through most of the 20th century. There's no documented evidence of the property being considered unusual during this period. The modern story begins in 1994 when a family purchased the property and claimed to experience numerous unexplained events during their approximately 2 years there. Unusual animal behavior, cattle disappearances, strange lights, and various phenomena they couldn't explain. The family reportedly contacted the National Institute for Discovery Science, or NIDS, a private organization founded in 1995 by Las Vegas businessman Robert Bigelow. In 1996, NIDS purchased the ranch and installed extensive monitoring equipment, cameras, sensors, electromagnetic field detectors, and various scientific instruments. NIDS operated on the property from 1996 until 2004, with researchers living on site conducting experiments and maintaining observational protocols. After NIDS closed, the property remained largely inactive until 2016, when Utah businessman Brandon Fugel purchased it through Adamantium Real Estate. Under new ownership, scientific investigation resumed with even more sophisticated equipment. What makes this history significant isn't the disputed phenomena, but the sustained effort to study them. Millions of dollars have been invested in monitoring equipment and personnel, one of the longest-running, most well-funded private attempts to document potentially anomalous phenomena at a specific location.
The truly unique aspect of Skinwalker Ranch isn't reported phenomena. It's the infrastructure built to monitor it. This represents applied observation technology at a scale rarely seen outside government facilities. The monitoring network.
The property contains one of the most comprehensive sensor networks ever installed on a private ranch. High-definition cameras with night vision cover the entire property, recording continuously. Spectrum analyzers scan for electromagnetic anomalies. Radiation detectors monitor for unusual readings. Ground-penetrating radar maps subsurface features. Magnetometers track magnetic field variations. GPS-synchronized timing systems coordinate all data collection. This instrumentation level is typical of scientific research stations, not cattle ranches. Equipment estimates suggest several $1 million in monitoring infrastructure, not including operation, data storage, and analysis costs.
The data challenge. Here's what's rarely discussed: the sheer data volume. Multiple cameras and sensors running 24/7 generate terabytes annually. This creates a fundamental challenge. How do you analyze that much information? Traditional science focuses on specific, replicable experiments under controlled conditions. Skinwalker Ranch does the opposite: continuous, comprehensive monitoring of an uncontrolled environment, hoping to capture whatever might occur. Most recorded material shows nothing unusual: weather changes, animal movements, normal variations. Finding potentially significant events requires extensive human review or sophisticated automated detection, both with limitations.
The methodology question. The ranch represents an unusual approach to scientific investigation. Conventional science starts with a hypothesis, designs experiments, and analyzes results. But when you don't know what you're looking for, how do you design the experiment? Skinwalker Ranch operates like observational studies in astronomy or wildlife research, monitoring environments and cataloging observations, building understanding through accumulated data. This raises genuine questions. Without clear hypotheses, how do you determine significance? How do you separate signal from noise? How do you rule out conventional explanations? The underground features. Ground-penetrating radar surveys have revealed interesting subsurface features. The ranch sits on complex geology with multiple sedimentary rock layers. Radar imaging has identified what appear to be voids or density anomalies beneath certain areas, possibly natural geological features like collapsed caves, eroded spaces, or density variations. Or they could be human-made, perhaps from old mining operations, though no clear historical record exists. What makes these noteworthy isn't necessarily what they are, but that they've been so thoroughly documented. Most ranches never undergo this subsurface investigation level. The baseline problem. Here's a crucial overlooked point. To identify anomalies, you need to establish normal conditions. Many monitoring efforts focus on creating detailed baseline data, typical electromagnetic readings, normal radiation background, regular animal behaviors. This baseline establishment is scientifically valuable, regardless of whether anomalies are detected. It creates a comprehensive environmental profile over an extended time. This data has applications in understanding regional environmental conditions, electromagnetic environments, and local ecology. Today, Skinwalker Ranch continues operating as both a working ranch and a research facility. Cattle still graze. The land looks like surrounding ranches, fencing, outbuildings, high desert vegetation. But scattered across are camera poles, sensor arrays, antenna systems, and equipment enclosures. The ranch gained public visibility in 2020 through a television series documenting the ongoing investigation. Current owner, Brandon Fugel, describes it as a serious scientific endeavor, bringing in researchers and technical experts, though peer-reviewed publications remain limited. Public access is restricted, no tours allowed. The perimeter is fenced and posted. This maintains a controlled environment, but limits independent verification. The property has become a cultural phenomenon, recognized even by people unfamiliar with its history.
It represents a unique intersection of private enterprise, scientific inquiry, public curiosity, and entertainment media. Local Uinta Basin residents have mixed reactions. Some embrace the attention and economic activity, others remain skeptical or uninterested.
Skinwalker Ranch represents something unusual in American scientific and cultural history, a sustained, well-funded attempt to document phenomena that may or may not exist. Regardless of findings, the effort itself is significant. It demonstrates how human curiosity, combined with substantial resources and genuine commitment, can transform an ordinary place into something extraordinary. The ranch is now less a location than a process, an ongoing experiment in observation, documentation, and the search for understanding. Perhaps what we're really observing isn't unusual phenomena. It's ourselves, our need to investigate, our drive to understand, and our willingness to look carefully at places others simply pass by. The instruments are still recording, the data continues accumulating, and the desert remains, quietly holding whatever secrets it may or may not contain.
Thank you for watching. See you in the next documentary.